This week on the podcast, it's all about comfort. Carrie and I are sharing our top 3 and bottom 3 seat choices in attractions at Walt Disney World. You're going to want to listen to this. Where are we most comfortable and where, well, you might want to take a seat elsewhere. Stay tuned to find out. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Fran.
How are you?
I'm great.
It's like the good old days.
The good old days. It's great. It's Saturday. It's a Saturday morning that we're recording this.
Yes.
Not a Monday to Friday. So it's the weekend.
So we're in a good mood?
Baby, as they say.
So we're in a good mood? Is that what it is?
A little tired because I stayed up binge watching Netflix last night. But, and then got woken up this morning too early, so I didn't get to sleep in.
You do realize that you said to me, I was up way too late watching something on Netflix. And I said, what? And you gave me the name of the show. And I said, what's that? And your response was, a show. And I'm thinking, well, what else is on Netflix?
Movies.
Oh, is it like a series show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bridgerton.
Okay.
Bridgerton season 2.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't understand what, because I'm like, why? Yeah, of course it's a show. Like, she's not like baking a cake on Netflix. Like, I understand what's on Netflix, but yeah, I did.
There's stuff on Netflix about baking cakes.
Of course there is.
There's reality TV.
Yes.
So
anyway, so you were up too late.
I was up too late, and then I do this all the time. I think, oh, it's all right, I'll just sleep in, and then I never sleep in. There's always something.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, this is going to be a fun episode. Well, it's a twist on some stuff. So it's just because it was a random topic we were talking about, and I had seen people online talking about different ride and attraction vehicles and which ones are kind of like more, less you wouldn't mind sitting in versus those that you're like, oh my gosh, this is completely discomforting. Is that a word? Is that a word? Discomforting?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. So we're gonna do the good, the bad, and the discomforting, ugly.
Yeah, we just picked 3 each, so 3 good, 3 bad each that we're gonna share. Because, sometimes it's important for people, if they're, just say they're planning their first trip and they're thinking, oh, I might like to go on this attraction. And then we're like, yeah, if you're, over 17, you might not be able to get out of the attraction. So, right. Yes. So what should we start with, Carrie? Should we do the bad or the good?
No, I think we should do the good.
Okay,
Let's get the good over with.
The good over with.
It should be quick. It should be like, here's the good, here's the good.
Here's the bing, bang, boom.
And then the bads. We'll talk about those in a little more detail, I would expect.
Okay, so why don't we start with your first good? Want to alternate, or do you want to go, do your 3, my 3? How do you want to do it? We should have talked about this before we started recording, but this is
let's alternate.
Okay. So okay, yeah, that's good. Are yours they're in no particular order?
No particular order.
Okay. So we'll let you start.
My first good ride vehicle / attraction, because they're not all ride vehicles, especially my very first one.
Well,
oh, I guess it is sort of a ride vehicle. It's the Carousel of Progress is my very first good ride.
It does move.
It does move. That's why after I said that, I was like, I guess we could say it is a moving attraction. I like the Carousel of Progress because the seats are comfy and it's cool in there and dark. I am not someone that falls asleep and has a nap in the Carousel of Progress.
You stay awake for the whole show? I stay
awake and sing and look around and love every bit of it. But yeah, it's very comfy seating.
It is. Those seats, and they're nice and wide too. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Okay. Good.
And I like to put the Carousel of Progress out there as much as I can, because there's often, like, people will come back from Walt Disney World and I'll be like, well, did you go in the Carousel of Progress? And I'm like, no, I didn't even see that. I didn't even know that. So just Carousel of Progress awareness is also...
Is this our new campaign, the Carousel of Progress Awareness?
Awareness campaign.
To make sure people know about it. Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. But it is also comfortable. So
all right.
It's not that I'm not putting it on the list. It's not just because it is comfortable. What's your good? What's your first good?
My first good, I would say, is Spaceship Earth. You know what? And I know they're just plastic seats, but there's plenty of room. And when you go, they do something for my back when you turn and come back down backwards. Like, I feel like it's almost like it's relaxing. I like the seats. There's room. I don't have to bend down to get into them. It's comfy.
You just walk into the ride properly.
Yes.
I don't know that I would necessarily say that I would think that that's very comfortable, but I do like when the ride turns around and then you're going back to the, like, finishing the ride off, like, backwards. It's definitely, like, I just will kind of chill out and just relax there. Like, it's just, you can be like, and, like, kind of put your head back a little bit or whatever.
But that's because of the seats that you're kind of like, as you
not
relax.
That you're, like, on an angle backwards.
But you're on an angle backwards, so your back is getting pressed up against the seat. It kind of, like, loosens all the joints. I'm old. Okay, Carrie. Number 2 for you. Good.
My number 2 good ride vehicle, top ride vehicle is the Haunted Mansion. But I guess this could also be like any sort of...
Are you going to qualify it?
Any sort of vestibule that's shaped like a Doom's buggy, a clamshell, etc., etc. That's
pirate ship, like on Peter Pan. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think I don't know that they would have enough. Are those as spacious as the Dooms? Okay, so yes, anything of that.
As spacious if there's 2.
So yes, I like that you just walk in. The handlebars, like, nothing squishes you. There's ample room for 2 adults or an adult and a couple of kids. So yeah, I think they're comfortable and
right.
Perfect ride vehicles.
But you caution people about 3 adults.
Yeah,
do
not
right?
put 3 adults in. We did that once, and we're lucky we didn't. We were giggling so much the entire attraction. We're lucky they didn't stop the ride because they had to clean the ride because it's like a hazardous. They had to do hazardous cleaning or whatever. Because
I don't know what happened. Like, we were walking onto the thing, and the woman said, "The 3 of you can go in there." And we did. And, like, as seasoned Walt Disney World travelers, who are aware of the size of the 3 of us. Now, you are small. But me and the other friend that we were in were similar sizes.
So we had like the person sat in the middle, and then the 2 on the outside were sort of like
on top,
sitting like on like one side. Like, we had to have our legs crossed, I think, and we were like kind of like leaning in, and the Doom's buggy thing came down, and then we questioned immediately why did we do this, and then we proceeded to giggle and cry through the entire attraction. And again, we're lucky the ride vehicle didn't have to stop,
so they could mop it up,
so that they could mop up the floor from us, from what comes from when you laugh that hard.
Pretty much.
But yes, I like those types of ride vehicles.
Yes, very good. All right, okay. My next good one would be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I like this one because you get to see, like, you kind of get to pick your own space, depending on how many people they put in the row with you. But it's not like a far way to sit down. And you walk right in. Like, you walk in, it's not uncomfortable to try and maneuver your way in, especially if your hips might be a little wider than others. Just saying. That can happen on some of the other ones, so that would be my second good one.
Good.
All right. Good. Your third one, Carrie.
What's my Yeah, you're probably not going to agree with this one. But it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Because, like, I think too, for me, it's not just like the maneuverability and the comfort. It's also like, for me, it's how the ride also makes you feel. Is how I determine.
Oh, no.
Is how I determine if I feel the ride vehicle is good or not. So I find, like, with Pirates, you know, they're sort of spacious, sort of. I guess if you have really long legs, maybe not. But it's the smell of the pirate water. It's just a good package altogether, right? Like, it's not too hard to get in and out of it. Like, you can, you know, there's cast members there to help, and you have your friends if you have to step in and out of it.
See, yeah, but what if you and your friend both need help to get out of the seat? What, like, once you sit down, your knees are, like, pretty high up there.
Okay, I know I'm trying here, but it's just like when you walk into the building and you get it, and you're stepping into the boat. It's like the pirate water smell. It just you know you're gonna have this amazing experience, and I was having a hard time picking, like, deciding which ones were good or bad, so I had to put Pirates in.
All right. It's a good one. I think my third one is the Tiki Room. And maybe that should have been my number one choice, because I think, like, the benches are not uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're comfy.
They're spongy, and you get to pick how much room you want. You walk right in. It's high enough. With me, it's all about the personal space, and in the Tiki Room, you kind of get to decide your personal space, unless it's jam packed and the cast members are, you know, packing the theater. But generally, Tiki Room is not packed.
If it's not too busy, you could sit wherever you like. So you could sit in the back row all by yourself, or sit in the front row all by yourself, or sit wherever by yourself.
So you needed to. I love that one. Okay, Carrie, we got to move on to the not so fun. The not so fun attraction seats. And I think that should be the title of this episode, is it's attraction seats. Like where you put your bum. Okay. We're not going to put that in the title, but yeah. Okay.
Where you put your bum. Right, Carrie? The attraction seats.
Okay. What is one of your ones where you're like, this is so uncomfortable?
I'm gonna do my first one. I guess they're not in order, but I want to do this one first. Rock and Roller Coaster, because it's like, I guess the seat itself can sort of be comfortable. Like, once you sit in it, it's kind of like, you know, it's got you. Like, it's got to hold on to you. It's got to hold you in there tight.
Kind of wraps you all up.
So it wraps you all up. Like, you got to pull down the bars, and that's kind of squishy sometimes. But I find as I've gotten older, these types of attractions, like, they're not as comfortable as they used to be. Like, you kind of bang around a little bit, and feels a little bit more squishy than maybe it used to be. So that's my.
I'm with you.
My first bad one.
I'm with you. That one, when you get down into that seat, it's actually quite difficult to get back up. It's kind of like the seats on Test Track, where once you're down there, I don't know, man. It's hard to get up.
Well, and the thing is, like, at the end of that ride too, like, you've just been through, like, all that craziness, and then you got to get out. It's like, move it, next.
Seriously, last time I was on that ride, it was years ago. The ride got to the end, and my nephew and his girlfriend, now wife, got up. They were walking out, and I was still sitting in the chair. Like, I couldn't. I had to call them to come back to help me out. Yeah.
I think the last time I was on it, I was with my niece, and she's an adult at that point, and she had went when she was younger, and then, like, going quite a few years later as she was an adult, and in the earlier years, she would want to go on it multiple times. So we did we had the fast pass, and we had like we had it so we could go on it twice, and maybe we did standby, and then we had a fast pass in our hands, and we were going to do that later or do that next or whatever. We were trying to double it up. Good strategy, right? We had the fast pass right there. We were riding it through the standby, and as soon as we were done the standby, we were going straight on the fast pass line. Some scenario like that. Anyways, we went on it the first time, and then my niece, again, much older than she was in the first year she went to Disney, was like, yeah, I don't know, I think I'm done. So then we gifted the fast passes. Like, this was like, and this is long enough ago that it was a paper fast pass. So, you know, she's even older now. I'd like to see if she goes on it once now. But we gifted the fast passes to a couple that was about walking into the standby line. But yeah, I think it happens to almost everybody. I know there's some people that no matter what, like, they're ride or die on roller coasters, like through to the very end. I do have some friends that are like that. But generally, I think, you know, as you get older, you know, they're not as comfortable.
No, and it does a number. Like, you could pull your back. You could ruin the rest of your trip if you like crick your back or something. I often think how horrible. Like, when I was a kid, my brothers were a lot older than me, and my dad would go, like, they would go on Space Mountain with me multiple times, and I think how horrible. Like, did they not have a bad back afterwards? Or maybe they were just younger at heart than I am now. I don't know. But I couldn't do it. Okay, so that's the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yep. What's your bad one?
Oh, well, I have to start with Astro Orbiter, because I think everybody knows how I feel about Astro Orbiter. If you do not, I even have a whole blog post on it. Like, I want to warn everybody that is over, say, 25 years old, that if you're going to go on Astro Orbiter, make sure you have a friend with you. Don't get in the same capsule together, though. That's not, because then you both won't get out. But make sure you have a friend to help you out at the end, because once you get down in that capsule, you'll never get back up, because you're basically sitting on the floor. Because it's inside a tube.
It's like an old school ride vehicle where it was just, you just sat down, and
it's like it's like what I would imagine getting into a kayak is like. Right? And then trying to get out of a kayak by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a bad one. That's a bad one.
So if anybody, like, if someone wants to know what getting in a kayak is like, you could be like, well, I think it's like getting into Astro Orbiter. Have you been to Walt Disney World before?
Yes. Not that I've ever been in a kayak, FYI. I don't think I have. Canoe, maybe, but not a kayak.
I did once at art camp when I was in high school.
Oh my gosh, of course. Did you go to art camp in high school? Like high school? High school?
Just one. Yeah, just once.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I learned to make raku pottery. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Your second bad one.
I'm going to say it's tough to be a bug.
Oh.
At Animal Kingdom. Because, like, I think that's, like, double bad. Because the seats are uncomfortable. Because they're just, like, hard seats. Because they have certain mechanisms built into it for it to feel like there's bugs crawling or spurting at you, or crawling up your back or around your feet or whatever. So it's like double bad. Uncomfortable times 2.
Oh yeah, those seats are horribly, like they're like the thick plastic, and they're not even shaped like proper for a backside.
Yeah, and then they come with a surprise. Sorry if you've been on the ride before. Spoiler.
It's not a good surprise. Yes. Okay, so that's a bad one. It
depends, though. Like, some people, like, it's like if that's your thing, you might think it's funny.
Who do you know?
When I brought my sister on that attraction,
your sister did. Yes.
She giggled, like, she laughed, like she was laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I'm like looking at her like this monster. I was looking at this person I thought was my sister, but I realized now she's a monster. Like, I've been in this attraction many times, and I've got, like, my feet lifted up, my back's not up against the thing. My sister's just sitting there, like, cruising in the seat, laughing like crazy, thinking it's the funniest thing ever. And I was like, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, sister. No. Wow. This tells a lot. Wow.
Okay. Oh, okay. My next bad one is Goofy's Barnstormer. Now, I understand this is a child's roller coaster. However, the children don't go without a parent or an adult.
I think they can though. Like I don't think
Are they supposed to? I don't know. We don't let the kids go without us. So, which means I got to get in the seat with the kid and my knees are going through the seat in front of me and yeah, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room.
That's kind of like the attraction where you're like the adults' knees are like up under their chin, right? That's
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness it's a short ride. Yeah. Okay. Carrie, you have one more bad one.
Yeah.
In your top 3. How did this... I thought we said, oh, this one's going to go by really fast. It's going to be like a 20-minute episode. Yeah, no, we've been talking for like almost 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, because you keep talking about how it's more than 20 minutes. So, like, and I don't hate this attraction. I think we're talking about the seating.
Discomfort.
It is the teacups.
Oh,
the teacups, even with my little short legs, are squishy. So, like, one small child and one adult is squishy because, like, I couldn't imagine having long legs. You'd have to have your legs, like, twisted and bent or whatever. So it's just a little tiny leg space, and then they've got the wheel to turn the teacup. So, yeah. And sometimes you see, like, a bunch of adults in there, and you're like, holy smokes, like, how do you fit in there? 2 adults is okay. You just have to kind of, one's legs goes on one side, but yeah, like, they're short legs, not long legs that I've been in there.
Like but you got to work out where the knees go.
Yeah, for sure. You got to want to be touching the other person's knees, most likely. But the teacups are great for selfies. So, like, I will go on them because they're fun for taking pictures.
Oh,
like,
I never even thought about
taking pictures of the person you're with. So yeah, like you go on, you don't have to spin it, but it's fun for taking pictures because you can get like the background, like, you know, nice focus on the person you're with and then have the nice like spinny background, and it's fun that way.
I haven't been on the teacups and I can't tell you how long. We should go on them and I won't
spin them. We'll just let them regularly go. Then they're not that bad. We'll spin them a little bit.
I don't think we've even been on the teacups together.
No. Because you're like, no Astro Orbiter either. Like, all I want to do is go on the Astro Orbiter, and it's like, nope.
No way. Nope. Can you imagine? We should do that once just for fun.
I think we said we would one day, but we just never. Yeah. When we get to the theme parks, we just happen to forget that should be on our to-do list.
That's on our to-do list to do these things that are, yeah.
We need the hazard crew over at Astro Orbiter.
We need a forklift to get Franny out of the
I'll help you. I got you. We'll just be laughing.
Carrie,
and
it's
laughing
very
and laughing.
tall, too. It's very tall to reach into the little spaceship thingy. Oh, okay. Yes, I agree. The teacups for sure.
And then our last one, your last not so pleasant ride vehicle.
And you know what? I love this attraction, but you need to go on it with someone you know. Because the last time I went on it as a solo rider, there was a gentleman they put next to me, and like I was closer to him than I've been to most of my dates. Like we were almost sitting on top of each other on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Your knees are up at your chin. The bucket that you're supposed to sit in, I don't know who that bucket is made for, but it isn't for hips or a back end that is of any normal size, in my opinion. And yeah, and then when you start rocking and going, you end up like sitting on top of each other. It's kind of like Thunder Mountain, except in Thunder, you don't have a bucket for your seat. It's just a bench. So when you go around the corners, you slide into the person that you're with. Whereas on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, there's no sliding because you're sandwiched in there like it's a sardine can. And the person next to you, you better like them. Because if you don't, you're going to get to know them pretty well quickly. Yep. Yeah. So that one's
squishy and personal space boundaries if you don't know the person you're sitting beside.
Pretty much. And then it is difficult to get out at the end too. So it's got all the market, and I don't know why. It's a brand, like it's a fairly new attraction. You'd think they would have made it a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it must have to do with like the physics of the ride and balance, like because it moves and like maybe with how it moves back and forth, like they couldn't make it any bigger to make it like it has to be something like that because I don't know why. Like I know it's in Fantasyland and it's a for for younger people maybe geared because it's like a family coaster, but I think it is truly a family coaster. It's not Goofy's. It's not a kiddie coaster.
It's not a kiddie
coaster. If I was categorizing it, it's in the family roller coaster category. Where, as long as you're tall enough till
yes.
93 to 93 if you're tall enough. So, yeah, I don't know why they're like that. So it has to be like the way, like that's how to make the ride do what it needs to do. But yeah, that's like from the very beginning, the minute the ride opened, 3 seconds later, that was like probably the only complaint. I think people thought it was a little too short, too short of a ride and
too short of an attraction. But yeah. And the seats are too squishy. Mm-hmm. Even if you like the person you're sitting next to, you feel kind of bad that you're sitting half on them.
It's squishy, too squishy.
Yeah, yeah. So try to always be in a pair of two for that ride if you can. Yeah. All right. Okay, Carrie. So we did our top 3 and bottom 3 attraction seats based on comfort levels, and. You know what? There's so many that we could have called out. Like, we went through, we were thinking of Soarin', Flight of Passage. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of seats. And we could probably do a whole episode on a whole bunch of other ones as well. But we thought it would be fun to talk about some that are better than others.
Our top good and our top bad.
Yes. Okay, Carrie. We still don't have a jingle for the Pixie Dust part of our podcast. But what would be your Pixie
Dust time?
I'm going to record. I was going to say I'm going to record you, but I'm recording you now. I should just set that to music, and there you go. There's our jingle, Carrie.
Great. Back to my Pixie Dust.
This week.
Have I ever changed the topic to get back to the Pixie Dust? Probably
no.
Not.
You really haven't. Usually you're like, okay, bye. We're skipping his Pixie Dust. Okay.
And yeah, I know Pixie Dust is important. I don't really always want to skip it.
No, especially when you have some good stuff.
Well,
what's your Pixie Dust this week?
My Pixie Dust again is yet again something else I purchased because some people get I did my taxes. I got a bit of a tax return.
Oh, nice!
I have a long list of things I probably should buy, like a new bed or whatever. Like maybe invest some of that money into some things around my home. But instead, I bought some Lego with it. So I bought. I have on my Lego bucket list, I wanted the Nintendo Entertainment System Lego set. So it's like the old 1980s console with the controller. And then they've got like a little retro looking TV. So that was
like the 80s console, like the one you played Super Mario on.
Yeah.
Like the original OG Super Mario stuff.
Yeah. And then the T, it's like a little retro TV. And like the screen is the Super Mario game. And then the way that you build it, like there's a crank on the side so that you crank it and then the screen actually shows the game. Like, cause you build the game out of Lego, like the game screen. And then,
that is
and
cool.
Then, once you, like when you have it all built, like you can, like there's a whole like Super Mario Lego set where like it's interactive. Like you buy this Super Mario figure and he like his eyes light up and he makes sounds or whatever. So you can buy that and put it on top of the TV. Like there's a spot on top where like I guess it reads the character and then it actually like puts more like other than just cranking it, like it puts more interaction into the game. Like I think there's music and things and whatever. So I didn't get that. I figured let me see if I could build this because like it's probably it looks like it might be I might struggle with building it because it might be a tough build. So I figured
Lego's come a long way.
Let's get a build first. I bought the last one I bought was the R2D2 and that one the build was okay, but some of it like there was a few parts that I struggled with. So I think this one will be harder because like trying to make like the cranky thing and I was looking in the book and I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of little pieces. Like usually with the Lego sets there's like big pieces, middle pieces and little pieces. Like it's a lot of little pieces that make this that make that all the screen and all that stuff. So yeah. So that was my Pixie Dust. I was excited. I bought it and I've got it and then I have to build it. So I haven't built it yet. But that's the thing with Lego. You just get excited to get it. So at Christmas time, I had a whole bunch of it stacked up. So over the holidays, I like got caught up. So all my Lego, like I had the Winnie the Pooh set. I think your sister has that one too, right? The Winnie the Pooh set. And I had the R2-D2 to do, and I had another one, I think. So I was all caught up. So I needed something to build.
Oh, so, absolutely. Who would have thought when you were a kid building like Lego houses? Like, remember the big thing was I built a house. It was the same house all the time.
I built the CN Tower.
With the little, oh my gosh, of course you did.
Day in and day out. I built the CN Tower. Because like I tried to make it as tall as me, which wasn't probably not much taller than I am now when I was a teenager or a tween or 10 years old. But yeah, you just built like whatever. You built houses. Yeah. I built the CN Tower all the time.
And now you're going to be building like a TV that shows something going on with Lego. It's kind of, it's cool.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool how far it's come.
Yeah. Awesome. The next set, they're bringing out the DeLorean
That's going to be fun.
Back to the Future. So I probably will get that one. Will go on my list.
That'll go on your list of things you need to buy.
But yeah, I just try to space it out because otherwise you want to buy it all. Because when you're a collector, you want to buy it all.
Yes.
So what's your pixie dust? Did you buy any Lego?
I did not buy any Lego. I have no Lego in my house. My pixie dust this week.
You don't have any Lego in your house? You don't have a Lego minifigure or anything?
No.
Like no Disney Lego minifigures?
No. What? No. Minifigures? No.
Yeah. Oh, I thought maybe somehow you would have had like a Star Wars one or something. That's going to soon be rectified.
Nope. No Legos.
Did you know there's like a Han Solo minifigure?
No.
You need it.
Go on. I have no Lego. I'm not going into the world of Lego. I went into the world of Funko Pops, and look at me now. No new collectibles. Yeah. Speaking of collectibles, though, did you see that new Peter Pan Duty? Did we talk about that? Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't get rid of it. I can't get it out of my head.
You need to buy it.
I think next time I go, I need to see it with my own eyes. I need to touch it, feel it, see what the brown looks like in person. I think it would go with everything, and I think it needs to be
looks really nice. They also have. I was looking at it today online. I think it must have been on WWNT. They had a picture of it in the store at Downtown Disney that has all the purses, and they had beside it. There's a Pixar purse too that's got all. So like not that it's whatever, but like that one there, I saw it and I saw it briefly and I forgot about it, but like I saw the post and I was kind of zooming in to take a good look at it and take a good look at the Peter Pan. They're total opposite designs of purses, but I was like, oh, look at that one too. Like there's never ceases to amaze me how they do these Dooney purses. There's something for everybody.
When I finally get back there,
you need it.
There's going to be lots of shopping. There's going to be some damage control.
I hope so, because I don't know. I think when you went back after your 2 years, your shopping wasn't as epic as you promised.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me. And I was there maybe it was like being there for the month, or I don't know. But we'll see. All right. My pixie, because Carrie, see, again,
your
off topic.
See what happens.
See?
Maybe.
Okay. My pixie dust this week.
I shouldn't do pixie dust because it just goes sidetracked.
My house, ever since I moved into my house, it's driven me crazy. The lamp that I have in my living room, it's like one of those chandeliers. It's like it's just weird. Anyway, it doesn't emit enough light. I am somebody that needs light everywhere. I have all the lights on. Anyway. So my brother-in-law, who is an electrician, because I will do lots of things in my house, but not electrical. Because I just don't want to get electrocuted.
But you're not an electrician.
Pretty much. So he came down and I got this light for Christmas from my nephew, and it's got like 8 prongs on it. Ooh. So that I have 8 light bulbs in this new chandelier thingy. And he installed it for me yesterday. And like I can see there's light everywhere. It's fantastic. I'm so excited.
So bright.
Yeah. Well, you even noticed when we got on our video chat, you were like, wow, the background is so bright. It's because I have 8 light bulbs.
Your stuff in the back, all of your Funkos
you can see them.
Are on Spotlight now.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited. And yeah. So that's it. Carrie, as always, this is fun. And I'm just glad we set aside time every week to chit chat. and that people tune in to listen to us. So if you're enjoying the episodes, please, please, please share them with somebody that you think might like them too. And we will chat with you next week. Next week we have a fun one. We have some lightning rounds. I'm a little nervous about this, Carrie. We'll see how this goes. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.